Alright, well everybody, welcome back to gggaming. In this video, we're going to do that guide I promised you on the build for that nice new shiny Lucario that you got. We're going to cover a couple different builds, all the details with Lucario, what he can and can't do, and just how much fun he is. So stick around and let's figure out how this all works. Okay, let's jump into this. Let's take a look at all the details for Lucario and everything he can be. Let's take a look at the nice new one we got, which is the level 75 one here. I do have two others, which are already ready to go, already built, ones that I do use in my raid party, and we're going to go through both of those builds and what those look like. But let's cover the basics. So, for Lucario, he is, of course, fighting in steel. So that is where he shines. Those are the builds that we're going to cover. A steel type, as well as a couple fighting types. And I say a couple because Lucario is extremely flexible. So let's take a look at his stats. And this is why he is so flexible, because his special attack and his regular attack are very, very close right out of the box, which means you can build him either way, and he's going to be just as good and not outstandingly better one way or the other. Out of the box, he's got some really, really good moves. Flash Cannon, Aurora Sphere, both really, really great for the special attack build. The Bullet Punch, yeah, that's all right. I mean, it's not huge, but it does always go first. And then Ice Punch, of course, is if you're just trying to do something weird with the ice moves. But typically, you're going to stick with either your steel or your fighting. Yeah, so let's get into it. Let's do the first build. Go to this Lucario right here. We're going to cover the Steel Terra as well as a special attack build. So let's take a look at the actual stats. We do see special attack and HP. That's where we put our IVs. Maximize those, maximize your damage, maximize your health, your ability to survive, all that good stuff. In terms of his abilities, he's got Steadfast as well as Inner Focus. So as you show you both. So one basically prevents it from flinching or being affected by intimidating. Inner Focus is honestly the one I prefer. The Steadfast one just boosts his speed stat every time it flinches. You don't really want to flinch because that causes you to skip turns. So yes, Inner Focus is the one you want to use. But you'll have to use an ability patch or the other item to flip your abilities to whichever one you don't have. So let's do this. Let's go through the build for special attack. So these are my recommendations for what your build should be. And that's just based on what he can learn and has access to. Flash Cannon, of course, is an amazing 100% accuracy, 80 damage, and may lower the special defense of the target, further adding to the insult for this attack. Really, really good. It is special. That is the whole point of this. Metal Sound, of course, is awesome. Drops the opponent by 2 special attack points by harshly lowering. Really, really good. And then, of course, Nasty Plot is also just amazing by sharply boosting your special attack, which is one of the biggest reasons Lucario is so strong on the special attack side, because it has access to both Metal Sound and Nasty Plot, which together just set up an absolute devastating combination against your teammates and those raid bosses. Steel Beam. This is more of a finisher type move. If you're using the Shell Bell, which I do use occasionally, most of the time I use the Shell Bell, and then I'll flip over to the cloaks and things like that as needed. But if you're using the Shell Bell almost cancels out. I say almost cancels out the damage you take from this, because this says it also damages the user. But yes, it really damages the user. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it is going to hit you hard. So be on the lookout for that. That's typically more of a finisher type move towards the end. You're just going to run Flash Cannon along with these. So that is that. That is a really, really good special attack build. Let's go cover the attack build now. Of course, as with all fighting type attackers, you're going to put your stats there, HP, attack, and then Drain Punch. Yes, Drain Punch is the attack. It's the best attack in terms of fighting when it comes to raids, because it keeps you alive. It absorbs their HP and keeps you alive. This build looks very, very similar to the special build because we see Sword Dance and Screech, boosting your attack power by 2, as well as dropping the opponent's defense by 2. Okay, harshly lowers the defense. Really nothing to say about that other than awesome. Sword Dance boosts you, Screech lowers them. setting up a very, very good scenario for you to just pummel them. And very similar to this, the beam that we had over in the last build, close combat is just your finisher type move. Close combat does not hurt you though; it just drops your defensive stats. So you can kind of work with that to keep yourself alive, especially with Drain Punch. But otherwise, close combat's typically you're not going to mess with that till closer to the end of the battle. But that is my preferred build for attacking. Really, really good. Really, really works well. Let's talk about a special attack on the fighting type though, or you can even flip and do full attack on the steel, because both work. He's got access to so many great moves. So let me just go to the TM thing here. We'll filter by name, and then we're just going to go through some of these amazing moves that he can learn. Of course, Aura Sphere, that's his signature move. Special. And it guarantees an attack. It never misses. So that is a really, really good one to build on the special move. So you can use the Nasty Plot and excel that along with Aura Sphere. And just make sure you have his Terror type to fighting just to maximize that. He gets Bulk Up. Another great move for your physical side. So if you're running into an issue where you need more defense along with your attack, Bulk Up. It's great. Calm Mind, another super awesome move. He basically gets access to the full gamut of boosting moves. Bulk Up, Calm Mind, Nasty Plot, Sword Dance, you name it, Lucario's got it, and that's what makes him so good. You can build him however you want, and he's gonna be good. Go down through the list here. Access to a lot of good moves. Of course, Flash Cannon, we've already talked about that. That one's key for the special side. Iron Defense gets that. Another awesome boost move to double your defensive stat if you need it. Now, let's say you're doing a physical attack, Steel type. Metal Claw is going to be your friend. Metal Claw is going to be move number 1, and then Meteor Mash is going to be move number 2. And then you're going to, of course, use Sword Dance with that. So you'll just flip out, the Sword Dance and the Screech. And then you're going to use Metal Claw with Meteor Mash. And I don't have Meteor Mash in here, but I'll show it to you in a second. Because apparently I don't have the TM for Meteor Mash. Other than that, really, really good setup. Really, really good options here. Tons of great moves. If you are missing any TMs, Terra Blast, of course, is always a win. Terra Blast will take whatever's your attack stat or your special attack stat, regardless of which one you're building on that Pokemon, and it will apply it to whatever your Terra type is for fighting or Steel. So Terra Blast is always a win. I mean, it really is. It's a phenomenal move. So if you're missing any of those TMs up there, you can always sub in Terra Blast. Other than that, let's go check out Meteor Mash, because I want to show you that one. Remember move. Where is Meteor Mash? There is Meteor Mash, and this is why Meteor Mash is so good. Well, Meteor Mash does only have an accuracy in 90, which is an issue. It also has the ability to potentially boost your attack stat with a power in 90. So you're hitting hard, and you have the potential to boost your attack stat every single time you use it. Meteor Mash is really, really good, but of course it is physical, so it has to be used with the physical build. So it goes well with this build. You're going to do Sword Dance, you're going to do Screech, and then you're going to do the Metal Claw, and then Meteor Mash will be your fourth one. So really, really good, solid build for Steel. And this is why Lucario is so dangerous in raids and so just awesome, because he's got the full flexibility, the full gambit of almost every move on the metal and fighting side that you can think of, and even more. He's got even more that you can work with. So hopefully this helps. Go build this shiny Lucario. Go make him awesome. Go win lots of raids with him. And hey, if you did enjoy this and this was helpful, make sure you hit that sub button, drop a like, and come back for the next one.